Imagine being rich enough to buy anything, like a private jets, penthouses, Super Bowl suites, and still being told, you're not eligible. Ferrari doesn't just sell cars. It decides who deserves them. And that power, the power to refuse billionaires, is what turned Ferrari into one of the most dominant luxury brands in the world. But here's the real question. Why would a company intentionally limit sales when global demand is endless? Why would a luxury powerhouse turn away willing buyers across the United States, Europe, the Middle East, and Asia when most corporations are obsessed with scaling faster, selling more, and reporting higher quarterly growth? In America, success usually means expansion, volume, market share, domination through availability. So why did Ferrari choose restriction over reach? Why cap production at roughly 13,000 cars a year when they could easily double output and still sell out instantly? Why say no when everyone else is desperate to say yes? To understand that decision, you have to go back to the beginning. Ferrari was never designed to be common. In 1929, Enzo Ferrari founded Scuderia Ferrari as a racing team driven by obsession, speed, competition, prestige, and the pursuit of victory. When road cars officially began production in 1947, they were not built for ordinary transportation. They were built to fund racing and extend track dominance to the streets. Every engine note, every sculpted curve, every prancing horse badge carried racing DNA. While Detroit perfected assembly lines and mass production, Ferrari perfected mythology. That mythology became more valuable than horsepower alone. Over decades, Ferrari built an identity rooted in Formula One dominance. Italian craftsmanship, controlled production, and emotional engineering. Fast forward to today. In 2023, Ferrari shipped around 13,000 cars worldwide, microscopic compared to manufacturers producing millions, yet generated over €1 billion in net profit with industry-leading margins that rival elite luxury houses. This is not traditional automotive economics. This is high-margin luxury strategy. Ferrari engineers demand carefully. It expands slowly, deliberately, ensuring waiting lists remain long and anticipation remains intense. High demand combined with restricted supply creates extraordinary pricing power. Pricing power builds margin stability. Margin stability strengthens investor confidence. And investor confidence elevates global brand prestige. The United States plays a critical role in this dominance. America is Ferrari's largest single market. From Beverly Hills to Miami, from Manhattan to Silicon Valley, entrepreneurs, hedge fund managers, athletes, and tech billionaires fuel demand. When Wall Street rallies, Ferrari allocations tighten. When IPO wealth surges, waiting lists grow. The American dream of success often ends in a European supercar, and Ferrari sits at the top of that hierarchy. Ferrari even trades on the New York Stock Exchange under the ticker symbol RACE, and investors don't value it like a traditional automaker. It trades more like a luxury brand because its margins, brand control, and pricing discipline resemble high-end fashion houses more than industrial manufacturers. But the strategy goes deeper than numbers. Ferrari doesn't simply sell vehicles. It curates experiences. Factory visits feel ceremonial. Private client events feel exclusive. Customization programs transform buyers into collaborators. For ultra-limited models and hypercars, loyalty matters. Purchase history matters. Relationship matters. Sometimes Ferrari selects its customers rather than competing for them. Imagine a newly minted Silicon Valley billionaire walking into a Ferrari showroom in Beverly Hills expecting immediate delivery. only to be told there's a waiting list and certain models require prior ownership history. In that moment, money alone isn't enough. Status requires patience, and patience amplifies desire. Consider the LaFerrari, limited to just 499 units and largely allocated to established clients. Years later, resale values surged dramatically, reinforcing a powerful belief. Restricted access increases long-term desirability. Now ask another question. What about the competition? Lamborghini builds aggressive machines. McLaren pushes technological boundaries. Porsche delivers precision engineering. Aston Martin carries British heritage. Some competitors produce more units. Some chase rapid expansion. Some experiment with broader accessibility. Yet many have faced volatility in profitability, ownership shifts, or brand dilution at different times. Ferrari, meanwhile, remains disciplined. Others compete on speed. Ferrari competes on legacy. Others sell performance. Ferrari sells permanence. Even when rivals launch faster models on paper, Ferrari's waiting lists remain intact. That is brand power beyond specifications. But here's the next tension point. The world is shifting toward electrification. Governments are tightening regulations. Performance is becoming digital. So the question becomes, can an electric Ferrari feel as emotional as a roaring V12? Can silence replace mechanical symphony? If the sound disappears, does the magic weaken? Ferrari's leadership knows this is not just a technological shift. It's an emotional one. The company is approaching electrification cautiously because a Ferrari must feel rare, visceral, and unforgettable, not just fast. So once again, why not simply produce more and maximize short-term revenue? Why leave billions on the table? Here is the answer. Scarcity is not a side effect of Ferrari's strategy. Scarcity is the strategy. The refusal creates narrative. The waiting list creates anticipation. The allocation creates hierarchy. And hierarchy sustains global prestige. When something becomes common, it stops being aspirational. Ferrari protects aspiration by protecting access. That is why billionaires wait. That is why resale values hold. That is why competitors struggle to replicate its aura. And here is the lesson for entrepreneurs, creators, founders, and ambitious thinkers watching around the world. Growth is not always about expansion. Sometimes it is about elevation. You do not need everyone as a customer. You need positioning, discipline, and long-term vision. A simple idea, limit supply to increase desirability, executed consistently over decades, can build an empire stronger than aggressive scaling ever could. Protect your brand equity. Guard your exclusivity. Build anticipation instead of chasing availability. Ferrari doesn't just manufacture cars. It manufactures aspiration, identity, and controlled prestige. And sometimes, the most powerful word in business is not yes, it's no. If this deep dive into luxury branding, high-margin business strategy, and global dominance changed how you see success, subscribe. For more powerful brand breakdowns, comment below whether Ferrari's strategy is genius or unfair. And watch the next episode to discover how another iconic global brand turned scarcity into unstoppable power.